We are obsessed with it. Our culture celebrates it. Our movies, our news, our heroes, they all tell one story over and over again, the story of getting rich. We idolize the risk-takers, the visionaries who went all in, the bold investors who made a fortune overnight. The story of creation is glamorous. It's about offense, about action, about capturing lightning in a bottle. It's an intoxicating narrative, and for a good reason. It represents hope, ambition, and the possibility of radical transformation. But there is another story. A quieter, less glamorous, and infinitely more important one that is rarely told. It's the story of what happens after you get the money. It's the story of staying rich. And what if I told you that the skills required for this second story are not just different, but are often the complete opposite of the skills that got you there in the first place? This is one of the most crucial and misunderstood concepts in the psychology of money. And failing to grasp it is why a shocking number of fortunes, won in business, in sports, in the lottery, in the markets, vanish as quickly as they appeared. Today we explore the two faces of wealth, the mindset that creates it, and the mindset that preserves it. Getting wealthy and staying wealthy are two different games. Think of it like this. Getting rich is like being a brilliant offensive general. You need to be aggressive. You need to take calculated risks. You need to have a deep, unwavering optimism that the future will be better than the present, justifying your bold moves. You have to put yourself out there, expose yourself to opportunities, and be willing to fail a few times on your way to a big win. It's a sprint fueled by adrenaline and ambition. Staying wealthy, however, is like being a master of defense. It's not about taking new territory, it's about fortifying the territory you've already won. The mindset shifts completely. Optimism must be balanced with paranoia. Risk-taking must be replaced by a healthy fear of ruin. The primary goal is no longer to win, but simply, crucially, not to lose. It is a marathon of survival. Let's break down the psychology of each. The mindset of getting rich requires, first, optimism. You have to believe that the company you're starting will succeed, or that the investments you're making will grow over the long term. This forward-looking belief is the fuel for taking risks. Second, a high tolerance for risk. You have to be comfortable with the idea that you might lose money. Every great fortune contains an element of risk, a bet on an uncertain future. And third, action. Getting rich is an active pursuit. It requires building, creating, selling, investing. It's dynamic. Now, let's look at the mindset of staying wealthy. It requires the opposite. First, humility. This is perhaps the most important trait. Humility is the understanding that the same market forces, the same luck and the same risk that created your wealth, can also destroy it in an instant. It is the recognition that you are not invincible, and that past success does not guarantee future returns. Second, a healthy dose of fear and paranoia. Not a crippling anxiety, but a constant awareness of all the things that can go wrong. The person who stays wealthy isn't asking, how can I get the absolute highest return this year? They are asking, how can I guarantee that I will still be in the game in 10 years, no matter what happens? They are obsessed with survival. And third, an aversion to ruin. The entire game of staying wealthy can be summarized in one sentence. Whatever you do, don't go bust. You must avoid the one catastrophic mistake that wipes you out and forces you to start over. This means avoiding excessive debt, avoiding concentrated high-risk bets once you've already won, and prioritizing a high savings rate, not to get richer, but to build a fortress of liquidity and flexibility around your wealth. Savings and a lack of debt are your defense against life's inevitable surprises. So why is this psychological shift from offense to defense so incredibly difficult for so many people? The first reason is ego. Success is a powerful drug. When you succeed, it's easy to believe you're a genius. You start to think you can't lose. This overconfidence leads you to take bigger and bigger risks, assuming you'll keep winning. You forget that a portion of your success was likely due to being in the right place at the right time, to luck. And luck is a fickle friend. The second reason is habit. The aggressive, risk-taking habits that made you rich are deeply ingrained. It's hard to turn off that part of your brain. Continuing to make high-stakes bets is what feels normal. even though your circumstances have fundamentally changed. And the third reason is the moving goalposts, which we've talked about before. The desire for more prevents people from ever feeling like they've won the game. If you never feel like you have enough, you can never switch from offense to defense. You keep taking risks to get more, exposing the wealth you already have to potential ruin. So how do you, as someone on this journey, cultivate the mindset of staying wealthy? First and most importantly, you must define your enough. You can only switch to a defensive strategy if you know what the goal is. Is it a certain net worth? A certain level of passive income? The ability to never have to work for money again? Define the win. Otherwise, you'll be on the offensive forever, until you eventually lose. Second, learn to prioritize becoming financially unbreakable over chasing maximum returns. This is a profound mental shift. It means valuing a good night's sleep more than an extra percentage point of return. It means holding more cash than seems optimal. It means having a diversified, perhaps even boring portfolio that is designed to survive chaos, not just thrive in good times. Third, embrace the power of less is more. Once you have a comfortable nest egg, the focus should shift to avoiding mistakes. As Charlie Munger says, the first rule of compounding is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. Your biggest enemy at this stage is not market crashes, it's you. It's your own temptation to tinker, to get clever, to take a sure-thing bet that could destroy decades of patient work. The story of wealth is a two-act play. Our entire culture is obsessed with Act 1, the rise. But the real drama, the test of character and wisdom, is in Act 2, the survival. Getting rich can happen relatively fast. A great idea, a lucky investment, a few years of intense work. Staying wealthy happens slowly. It's a lifetime of discipline, humility, and the patient avoidance of catastrophic error. So as you build your financial life, ask yourself which game you are preparing for. Are you only focused on the glamour of the attack, or are you also building the wisdom of the defense? Are you learning how to create wealth, but also learning how to protect it from the biggest threat it will ever face? Your own human psychology. The ultimate goal isn't just to make it to the top of the mountain, it's to be able to stay there, enjoy the view, and never be forced to climb it again. That requires two different sets of skills, two different mindsets, two different faces of the same coin. Understanding this duality is one of the most important steps toward achieving a lifetime of financial peace and freedom.